Hey guys, got one I wanted to share with you. I'm going to go ahead and put a few out tonight. So if you see the same color shirt, no, I'm not wearing the same shirt in every video. These are uploaded on the same day. Another one I've got for y'all that I've been working on, a little strange. It kind of reminded me of another case. Is a Lauren Thompson, age 32. Location is Panola County in the Rock Hill area. January 10th, 2019, waxing crescent moon illumination was 17% on that night. The conclusion, there was a fatality in this case. There was water in the area. It was during a flood. Uh, Authorities have confirmed that the human remains found over the summer belonged to a mother who disappeared nearly 4 years ago. On July 27th, a work crew in eastern Texas came upon a skeletal remains in a wooded area in Panola County, according to ABC Texas affiliate KLTV. A little could be gleaned from the discovery, including the cause of death, though investigators believe the remains had been there for some time. Y'all hear my dog? It's actually Mom's poodle. She's been having a fit outside tonight. On Tuesday, Panola County Sheriff Cutter Clinton announced the remains were positively identified as 32-year-old Lauren Thompson, who vanished in 2019 from the Rock Hill area, about 130 miles southeast of Dallas, less than 100 miles from Shreveport, Louisiana. She was a mother of 3, friends told the KLTV reporter. Our office will be diligent in pursuing all relevant investigation leads, Sheriff Clinton stated. On January 10th, 2019, Thompson placed a call to 911 at around 2:24 p.m. Former Panola County Sheriff Kevin Lake told Dateline NBC. Lake said Thompson sounded disoriented and confused when and she was reporting that she was leaving her vehicle. The call lasted about 21 or 22 minutes, presumably only ending because her phone battery died, according to the NBC News. She thought someone was chasing her, said Lake. We could hear background noise, and it was clear she was running. Now, they did not elaborate on what they were hearing in the background. I'm guessing they was probably hearing something that was chasing her, but they did not want to elaborate on it right now. Soon after Thompson placed the call, responders used cell phone tower pings to try to locate her, soon finding her car stuck in the mud in a muddy ditch near a farm to Market Road 1794, just west of Rock Hill. With Thompson still on the line with 911 operators, responders also made contact with the male passenger who was with Thompson when she ran her vehicle off the road. One person she was with told us that they had been in the area reportedly fishing. Lake told Dateline. He said then he told her he was going to walk to his house to get the vehicle to get them out of the mud. And then she had took off running. My question is, why would he leave her at a vehicle stuck in the mud by herself in an area like this? That's one of my questions I have, is why would he leave her there? And I guess my second question would be, what did she see that caused her to abandon the vehicle and take off running? Something frightened her. Multiple agencies, including the Texas Department of Public Safety, Texas Rangers, Parks and Wildlife officers, the state's Forest Service, and Panola County officials conducted a massive search of the area, but there was no sign of Thompson. Former sheriff stated they found a shoe, but we did not know it was hers. It was later determined that the shoe was in fact hers, and you would think that the shoe would have at least gave them a direction of travel for an area to be able to search. However, they did search over 2,000 acres of heavily wooded terrain and open fields with ground searches. 9,000 acres were searched with drones and helicopters. And she was identified by dental records when she was found 4 years later in the area that had been searched. And that's what really brought my attention to this, is they done a massive search and then they find her in the same area they searched, which happens over and over and over and over again. Authorities maintain there was nothing to suggest anything criminal took place upon finding Thompson's remains, though they continue to explore all avenues. Somebody, okay, if you see where she ran from, there was an open field with a farmhouse. There was another road she could have ran down, and then there was another area that did not have tall grass. She runs into the most heavily wooded part of where she was at, which doesn't even make sense unless something's chasing you from the other direction. That would be my guess. Something was chasing her from that direction, which ran her into the woods. Another weird thing that happened I noticed in this was the property owners in that area, a lot of that is private property. They would not allow people to help search for her. They only allowed emergency and law enforcement personnel. She was found in the area that had been searched prior, so that fits the, even the 411, what David Paulides says. They search areas and they end up, being found there. And I have a theory the reason that happens is because whatever these things are, we know they're very intelligent. They bring the body back to the area, they dump the body, it stops the search. Every time when they find the body, well, the search stops. And I think these things have figured that out. There's a case that happened up in Alaska that I covered where a lady left her car for unknown reasons and had went across, and they'd had Bigfoot sightings up there and everything, and even some very good footprint and everything, and they just play it off. I mean, it is not common for a person to get out of their car and to run into the most wooded area and to be running and call 911 and say something's chasing me. And then, the police even come back later and they say, well, she was delusional and she did have a drug issue. Okay, maybe she did have a drug issue. Drugs wear off after a certain point of time. Okay? I know people that take drugs. I've arrested people on drugs. They still, for the most part, can make pretty good decisions. I mean, not everybody's running out in the woods dying that's, doing drugs, depending on the type of drug and how much. But I think they use that as a crutch in an investigation to be able to do two things. I think number one, they use it is because they try to say, okay, this person was on drugs, they had no idea what they was doing, they were hallucinating, so they took off running out through this field, called 911. But there's a kicker, and I caught this. They heard the background noise of something chasing her. So if it was a hallucination and she was on drugs, how did the dispatcher hear something in the background chasing her? Number two, I found in this that really bothered me is they say that because somebody is on drugs, it seems they try to justify that it's okay for this to happen to these kind of people because they are on drugs, and I totally disagree with that. It actually makes me very angry that they use that as a crutch. And there's just a lot of things going on. I mean, we got the doctor, that left her car and was killed, and there's something running people from their cars, and I don't know how it's doing it or what it's doing. I'm sure she was stuck and she was unable to drive, and she might have seen this thing coming toward her car and seen how massive it was and how scary it was. I mean, we don't know what she's seen. She could have saw the god-awfulest scary looking thing you ever seen, and she didn't want to be at the car when it got there. I mean, you got to think, yeah, you're in the car if the door's locked and stuff, but it is surrounded by glass, and the glass does bust. I mean, that runs through my mind whenever I'm down there, and I'm doing my investigations, and I'm doing, and something's around or whatever. I mean, you think about that. I've had things run up, hit my door, and try to open my door. I mean, these things know how to get in. Look at the last video we just done. Something came through this guy's window, almost killed him. Then they're telling everybody, keep your doors locked, keep your windows locked. It's probably a cat, so why lock your door? How many cats got opposable thumbs that can open a door, right? And then they come back and they take my video off because they say that there's too much there. And then I get a call from somebody, I'm not going to go into that, and they tell me I need to back off on my theories. And I have to leave it at that because that's where I'm at right now with it. But they told me I need to back off because of my theories. That just tells me that I got something right. The live we done was brought up, and they talked about, my theory on the the fallen angels, the Nephilim, and the Nephilim giving birth, with a Homo sapien female, and then using the data that I use and how they determine the size of somebody, a suspect or whatever, using it with that and it coming out correct. I was told it's not a good idea to do that. I wasn't threatened, but I was just told that it'd be a good idea not to do that. So it was just weird. But I just wanted to share that with you guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope we can learn something from it. There's something going on in these cars that's running these ladies away. They're all ladies, by the way, that are ran from their vehicles, that are found deceased. I don't think there has been one actually survive an encounter where they have left their vehicle. All the ones I've covered, I believe they have been found deceased. This lady even 4 years later. Guys, be careful. Don't be alone. If somebody leaves, go get help. Go with them. Do not ever separate. Do not ever be alone. Do not make yourself vulnerable. I've preached that so many times. Do not be a victim. Do not be vulnerable. Do not make yourself an easy target. Keep your head on a swivel, guys. They're out there, and seems now they will run you from your cars. Appreciate you watching, and we'll see you on the next one.